As we start the fall 2022 term, I'd like to take a few moments to go over what the notebooks will look like. Now, here we see the flipped classroom notebook in which you will be taking your flipped classroom video lecture notes. Opening it up, looks like so. We see over on the left a rubric, and let me read what it says here. As you watch the flipped classroom video learn lessons, take careful notes. Highlight the titles and examples. Put question marks by those questions you might have, and you will have an open notes quiz based on the notes that you take. So to give you an idea what the notes look like, in 1107 we start with chapter 1. In 1108 we start with chapter 2, but we use the same textbook, so the same notes. So here we see in chapter 1 the real number line and absolute value. So as you watch the video, you pause it. You can play it at a faster speed or a slower speed. You can actually rewind and view things again. You want to take good notes on what the learn lessons are like. And then you're going to highlight major points. And for sure, you're going to highlight the example numbers. We don't cover every example, but the ones that we do cover, you are to highlight. You can use a ruler to make straight lines or a protractor or something. We skip some topics that are not included in our curriculum, but you want to highlight the topic number and again, carefully list the examples. Going on to chapter 2, where the 1108 starts, we deal with equations and the protocol is similar. Again, highlighting the example numbers and writing all the steps that go over the protocol, the strategy to solve an example. Because in some examples I will ask, what is line 2 of the work? As we see here in example 8, line 1 would be the original equation. Line 2 is the equation without fractions. And then I may ask for the answer. Here is x equals 7. Now often we give background information, and we'd like that background information included in your notes. Now these notes are worth 5% of your end of term grade for this notebook. The other notebook that I will show you shortly is worth another 5%, and that would be then 10% of your end of term grade will be the notebooks. And these are checked weekly. This is the other notebook that we have. We call it the Classwork Practice Notebook, in which I went into the software and took pictures of the practice problems and then converting it to PDF files and made up this little booklet. And as we see, as we start, the examples are written up, and we want you to show the work in a similar fashion as our notes, in some detail, to get the answers. And this is what we use in our classwork practice mode when we are in the classroom, or if we go to a Zoom, what is expected as we ask questions about this. Now, the key is having practice to prepare for the certify. This practice doesn't count toward your grade. The notebook does, but this practice is very similar to the certify that you will do in the software that will count toward your end of term grade. And that is 25% of your end of term grade. Now, some things don't need a lot of work, as we see here. And others, this is where we're starting actually chapter 2 for our math 1108, but 1107 does it as well. The equations, again, we're looking for detail, step-by-step work. And if you have pretty much what I have, you're going to receive full credit for this notebook. We usually use 5 points as full credit. All right, we won't keep this too long, but hopefully it's helpful in knowing what the notebooks are like in our math 1107 and 1108.